I'm Josh Patel. I work for a nonprofit here in New York City that gives back to those in India, and I grew up in Maryland for the majority of my life. I would say I probably started understanding my sexuality when I was 11 years old, probably right around puberty, when hormones were kicking in, and it was rather tough internally because it was really natural to me, and all your life you're taught right from wrong, and my parents never taught this specifically, but just through surroundings you're kind of taught that gay is wrong. So when I kind of put 1 and 2 together and 2 and 3 together, and then I realized I was gay, I had a very hard time understanding how that was wrong, because it wasn't something, I wasn't stealing, I wasn't lying, I was just being myself and having natural attraction towards those of the same sex, and internally, it really messed me up, I would say. From when I was 11 years old to maybe 16, I think my every single birthday wish was that I wouldn't be gay anymore and I would magically turn straight. And looking back, that's so silly because I'm so proud to be gay, and I think it's actually pretty fabulous to be gay, especially in this day and age. But yeah, I just remember thinking like, how hard it was going to be. Especially, it's already hard enough being a minority, but then also being gay, it's like, I don't know how to deal with that. There's no reference, there's nothing on TV, there's nothing I can look. I don't have a gay Indian uncle, I mean, some people do, I don't. Slowly you have to accept it, and then after accepting, then you have to deal with it, and then you have to come out, and then you have to deal with the repercussions of coming out. So the quicker you come out, I always tell people the better, because you still have a couple things to hash out after that. So when I was 17, my family, along with 4 other families, were going on a trip to Puerto Vallarta. A lot of my dad's business partners and their families, and as the reckless kid I was, I overdrank myself, and I basically just got so drunk where it got to the point where my friends weren't able to take care of me, and somehow my mother had gotten the news because it was pretty visible. And I remember as I was coming back to like reality and like slowly sobering up, my mother was devastated, and she had asked me, like, what's going on? Why are you drinking? Like, is there something you need to tell me? And I just told her I was going through something, and then she asked what, and I was trying to retract that statement, and she had then just asked me if I was gay. At that time, I decided it was either I agree and say yes I am, or I just go back in the closet. So I went forward and I told her, and she had urged me to tell my father. I had said no, and I think my father was like wandering around drinking a Corona or something, I don't know. But yeah, so she had called him in the room and pretty much outed me to him. She was just like, your son's gay. So yeah, I never really came out to my parents, so I think my mom did it all for me. So my dad was very understanding, and he pretty much was just like, I don't care what you do in your personal life, just work hard, be successful, and that's all that he really cared for. And shortly after they joined PFLAG, they saw a family psychiatrist, and it wasn't easy at first. That sounds like this beautiful story. There were still times after that were very difficult. Sometimes they would say things that they didn't really know how hurtful they were. But since then, we've made a huge progress, and there are times today where my parents are talking about, my wedding and how they're excited for that whenever I find someone X, Y, and Z. So one of the hardest things we do as, gay individuals is coming out to our parents, and that's probably one of the hardest parts of our lives. And I think that it is extremely important to look past the stigma, look past the societal pressures, and really try to see your kid for who they are, and try to put your best effort as a parent to understand them. As parents, it's not everyone's blessed to have this, but as parents, it's kind of their duty to provide unconditional love. That said, you shouldn't be really having kids for society. You should be having them because you want kids, and whether or not that is the case or not, I think it's really important to do research, educate yourselves, especially being South Asian. We're not afraid to get a medical degree, but we're afraid to understand our gay child. So I would argue that, or I would say that you should, as parents, try to understand it, talk to others, do more research, talk to your kid and see how they feel about it, and don't scare them into trying to change or trying to be something not for your satisfaction, because that'll just make them more miserable. Try your best to understand it.